I would like to call to order the Winthrop School Committee meeting of Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m. This meeting is being held in the Harvey Hearing Room at the Town Hall, 1 Metcalf Square. It is also being televised live. May I have the roll call, please?
Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Here.
Mr. Matucci?
Here.
Ms. Petrie? Here. Mr. Purinton?
Present.
Ms. Barry?
Here.
Ms. Powell?
Present. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Purinton, will you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comment that has been submitted? Seeing none, may I have an approval for the minutes of July 28th, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Abstain.
Ms. Barry?
Abstain.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 11th, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard?
Abstain.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Abstain.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve warrant SVW 26-3 in the amount of $141,099.91?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 26-02 in the amount of $253,423.37?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for the use of the Gorman Fort Banks by the Gorman Fort Banks PTO for an ice cream social on September 12th?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or objections? Hearing none, motion passes. May I have a motion for the use of the Gorman Fort Banks by the and the ATC PTO, the Gorman Fort Banks and the ATC PTOs for the use of, let me just clarify, is this the use of the ATC?
Yes, it's the driveway.
For the street.
It's the school
Yes.
street behind the school.
Okay, for the use of the Cummings for the trunk or treat on October 24th.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstentions? Motion.
Do we miss a payroll bill?
Yeah, I know.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
266.
Did you see it?
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. May I have a motion, going back, may I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 26-03 in the amount of $266,109.25?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. Okay, jumping back to that's okay, appreciate you catching that. Boston Wrestling Legion would like use of the facilities for the Winthrop Youth Wrestling practice on various dates. Motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion?
Which facilities are they asking to use?
They're looking to use the
The Cummings.
Cummings School Gym, but it has to be various dates because we have so many other activities going on.
They're going to work around the school's calendar?
Yeah.
Got it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. Do we have a subcommittee report on policy?
We do. So first things first here, we had reviewed the Winthrop Public Schools competency determination policy, which needs to be developed in the case where MCAS are no longer being used. We're going to ask to table this vote on this until the next school committee meeting so that we can distribute the policy to the rest of the committee for review prior to vote. So that one will be coming soon. We did vote in several policies and adopted language that's very close to, if not the same as the MASC, removing any of the procedural language that we had. And those are the community use of school buildings and grounds, community use of facility, personnel use of technology, student fees, fines, and charges, and the food services civil rights policy. So we'd ask that we have a motion to vote these and approve them for the policy booklet.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
As part of the student fees, the activity fee, we also discussed what the activity fee schedule would look like. Some of the fees are going up, but that is not ever been part of the school's budget. They've always been paid for, through the fees themselves or through ESSER funds. So since ESSER funds are no longer, we want to make sure that we're able to pay for the staff to supervise students during these activities. We did discuss increasing. It's mostly activities at the ATC that are going to be impacted most, but for after-school programming and morning gym.
What is the increase? So what will it go to from what?
Previously, it was $150 for the morning gym, is that right? Or what's
No, it was $125 for
any of the
any
activities?
activity.
Morning gym was $125 for the year. Morning gym from 7:15 to 8:15 will be increased to $225 if paid in full, or folks can pay for a half year at a time at $125 per half year. And then the after-school programs were $125 for an activity for the year. And we are changing the structure to be how many days per week. It'll also increase the number of activities different students can participate in. If Lego Club is on Tuesday and theater's on Friday, you can pay by activity. 1 day a week will be $150 per year, and then it goes up to $250 for 2 days per week, $325 for 3 days per week, $400 for 4 days per week, and $475 for 5 days per week.
That's for the entire year.
The whole year.
Do we have provisions for students who do not have the capacity?
Need-based scholarships are available. We included that in the policy.
And are you increasing the number of activities available? And that's not a policy question, I guess that's a administration question.
So ideally, depending upon, the turnout of the students, so the fee structure covers the cost of the person running the activity. And for each activity, we have to be mindful that we may need a paraprofessional, an ESP for some of those activities due to students who have ESP support in their IEP to make it equitable access for those students. And it also pays for materials and supplies for the students. So we've certainly never made any money off of it and been using, grant funding that's no longer available because the grant itself ended, and that was the ESSER funds. And the request for activities, the student enrollment has gotten so big that we can't do it with one teacher per activity, so they'll work that out based on the activity, and then the fee structure of students who need a scholarship, they'll design a form for parents to be able to access that.
Okay. Yes.
How much of the ESSER funds were used for this?
All the time.
Like
The
a
middle,
year?
the ATC and the middle school, and every program that's run after school that wasn't a stipended position, I paid for it in the last 4 years, 5 years, that's
But what is that cost? You know what it was
We'd have
each
to-
year?
we'd have to-
I'd have to add up all the different, like all the
different
MCAS.
programs.
Like, how did we come up with
robotics.
with the fee if we didn't know what we were trying to cover?
So, because they run different things, so, for example, Principal O'Leary will put it out to see who wants to run what programs, and they put it out to families, and then only if enough kids sign up for the different programs will they actually run. So they put them out to the students. So we have Legos, 2 different level Legos programs, one's robotics, and that's very popular. So we get 2 or 3 groups of that program, at least we did last year. I don't know what it'll look like this year, kind of thing. So, but, I mean, I would say, gosh, probably easily paid somewhere on around of 35 to 50,000 per year for both the ATC and the middle school. A little bit less at the Fort Banks because they don't run as many programs.
So they would basically free for families to
Yeah.
access
Right.
beyond the school day.
Homework's only.
But I guess
for
did
the
we
schools
do
that
like
are
a
school.
profit and loss to see, to get that figure of how much they're gonna
We
be
just,
spending?
we
And
really
is the
took,
cost,
tried to look at what we're paying the teachers hourly and how many potential teachers we generally pay in each half of a year to figure it out. So that's why we built the structure so that the more programs you're in, the less it costs, you know, for you. Because
and is the cost of the potential financial scholarships coming out of these fees, or is that being absorbed by the school's budget?
It would be, yeah,
they absorb somehow.
yeah, I think the old one, in determining how much it was gonna cost to run the program, then looking at the fee structure in order to cover that, then, yeah, it would come out of some of those fees. So the fee for the program for your child would get that program. If there are students who need either a scholarship or, you know, a no fee, you can't pay the fee at all, they would be added to the program as, you know, only a certain number of slots. So we can't add slots just endlessly, because then that would reflect other people paying. Is that what you're talking about, like other people paying?
Yeah, I mean,
fees?
you know, I think it's very difficult to exclude anybody for financial
Yeah.
reasons, right? That's, you know, it's a public school, you should be able to, but I don't think that families should be subsidizing that. I think the
Right.
schools should be subsidizing that. I would just like to see a sheet of where we came up with the dollars that
Yeah,
they
they-
all equal out together.
We can get that. Andrea did a pretty good.
The stipended rate also increased at the last,
Every year for the last 3
40.
years.
yeah, for the last 3 years in the teacher negotiation. So I think that that's probably impacting it too. We
Like, I
don't
guess-
have the grant, and it's gonna cost more per hour per teacher.
Before ESSA, what was the
We
fees?
didn't really have,
We didn't have any activity fee?
No,
Well, we had
there was
activities.
we had activity
Yeah.
fees. So, and some of the regular activity fee that you paid was covering you for an entire school year. At the high school, at one point, it was $100, and you
Right.
could do anything all year long at the high school. That amount of money no longer covers the cost of the staff, so that's partially why those types of fees had to go up. But we'll get you a sheet, we'll show you how
Yeah,
they
I
kind of
think-
broke it down.
This is what the proposed new fee structure is.
Yeah, we can get you the numbers of how much we paid out in the last few years.
Yes.
Right, I was just gonna say that too. I think we talked about what the fee structure, the fee schedule is, just like with buildings and grounds, we're going to have a fee schedule to propose to the committee, but the fee schedule isn't part
It's
of
not
the
part of the
policy
policy.
itself. So this fee schedule does not have to be approved tonight
Right.
as part of the policy. I wanted to mention that we talked about this, so we can
Okay.
always discuss that further.
Yes.
I also think that Viking Pride picks up for students that can't afford to pay the fees, whether it be athletics or, you know, co-curricular. So clubs too. Also, I know that the Winthrop Foundation's been approached to pick up some of that too.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Can I clarify just how we've been doing this policy work for a year, I think? Is this the very end now,
Yes.
Lori?
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hopefully, once these few are in, then we'll be able to vote the whole thing in one form.
Great. I just wanted to
And then
make
it'll
sure.
go live on MASC's website, so everything will be there.
Much better access for families.
As things change, you know, it'll be like, I just have to find a paper and binders, upload a new copy, and
And you'll get prompted by MASC for any legal changes, so when the law changes, if you're in this system where it's living document and you're part of the program, they'll prompt you to bring this particular policy back because
They're making
they've
a
added a
change.
change to it, the federal law has caused this change, so it keeps you up to date on policy in a legal manner, which is super important.
So if we are not going to, if this is not a part of the policy, at what point with the fees, do we approve, is that approved by the committee, or is that just an administration?
No, in the policy itself, the statement reads that a school may exact a fee for charge only upon board approval.
school, however, can collect money from the damaged books and those kind of things, but the board has to approve the actual fee schedule, the rates and fees.
Okay, so at some point that would be brought back to us.
Yeah, so and I would say it's gonna be timely, because they're gonna wanna start
Collecting those,
collecting this.
because kids are gonna start signing up.
They start opening
So we'll
gym
probably
on
have it by
Tuesday.
the next meeting.
Yeah,
Next Tuesday, they start their open gym.
so we can review the fee structure and then the competency determination.
Yeah, and I think I have enough copies for
Buildings.
them to take.
Hopefully building the
Buildings and
grounds.
grounds fee schedule too.
Okay.
So we need to close this off.
Any further discussion on the policies as proposed? Hearing none, may I have a roll call? And this is, again, just the policies as approved, as proposed, not the activities fee.
Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. And that brings us to the superintendent's report, please.
So my superintendent report is, today was a very busy and a very hectic day, but a very good day. So we had the opportunity today to bring all the staff in for the first time this year, meet a lot of the new faces. They got to come together as a school, individual school group, and spend time with the principal, introducing some of the new staff, as well as running several meetings. So things such as emergency protocol reviews, all the mandatory trainings are introduced through our ARCS Ed platform, and that's restraint training, 504 training, all the necessary and required trainings that teachers need prior to the start of each school year. We sometimes overdo it, and we don't need them but every 2 years, but we do have turnover in staff, so there's many things that we do repeat. Tomorrow, the entire school district is blessed with spending the first hour of the day with me as I do my superintendent address to the new staff as well as all of our existing staff. So we spend about an hour and a half in the Neil Shapiro Auditorium. They have a light breakfast ahead of time. Everybody scans in to show their attendance, and then they come in and we have a nice conversation. And we introduce all of the new staff. We also recognize all of our veteran staff who have reached a point in their career where they're either 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. And when they hit the number 30, they get the beautiful pen that sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But they do get a pen. We had a lot of people that asked not to be called up in front. You stand in front of children all day long, but when you're in front of all your peers in an auditorium, it's a little concerning. So we honor that for anyone who does not want to be called up in front of everybody. And then they'll go back to their buildings. They'll spend an hour with the union, which is part of the union's contract, after they have to listen to me for an hour. And then everybody goes back to their buildings, and then there's general meetings with the principals, as well as departmental meetings and common planning meetings, so that folks can get ready the biggest day, which is Wednesday, when all of our students do return. So people are super excited about that. Kids will be with us on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday is a no-school day for anybody. Monday is Labor Day. And we feel like those 2 days allow us to get all the nuts and bolts done with the students in the Wednesday and Thursday. And we feel like we can really hit the ground running, front-loaded with academic and curriculum, and really just hit the ground running on that first day that the kids are back. So just a couple of, there's so much that goes on in the first day that my brain is a little full, so you have to bear with me for one more second. I spoke about the bus. We have a bus service that meets the needs and the law required to transport any student who lives more than 2 miles from the school that they attend. So it's the front of their house, or the front door of the school. If that exceeds 2 miles, then they're entitled to school bus service at no fee themselves. As everybody knows, we don't have a large school bus that goes around the town, but we do pick up our kids in a much smaller school bus. We are working on those bus routes. It really requires that everybody get back to us and let us know of the eligible riders. So we do an eligible rider list. As of beginning of August, there was like 52 eligible riders, and then we wait until the second week of August, and we were up to 60. So we notify all those parents. They fill out a Google Doc. telling us if they're going to accept or not, and we can't create the bus routes until we get all that information. Because we have one driver that makes multiple runs to the point and back, so to the point, from the point to the Gorman Fort Banks, and then from the point to the Cummings, and then we do have to do it for sixth graders, so kids in kindergarten through sixth grade who live down the point are eligible. So as of the deadline, which was today, and there's really no deadline, but you have to give people a deadline so that we can establish those routes. We have about 38 students that are wanting to take the ride both to and from school and on half-days. So tomorrow and Wednesday, we'll sit down and do those routes. We estimate we'll be able to start on September 15th, by the time we get everybody's paperwork in and they understand all the rules of the bus. And we have a conversation with each one of the parents. We have rules about kindergarten, first and second graders must be accompanied by an adult when they're brought to the bus stop. We were stopping in front of the PSA hall. We're going to see if that's still an option, depending upon what that construction on the old church looks like. And Skip, who's our bus driver, was doing some rounds today just to make sure he had a comfortable spot. It's one spot where the kids board the bus and then we drop them off directly at the school. Should we not be able to manage all of the routes, we'll be having an additional conversation about how we'll resolve that. I have reached out to a couple of different bus companies. An average larger bus holds, I think, 55 students. And that would be probably one run with those students that are eligible to ride on it. And it would have to drop off multiple locations, which could be difficult in terms of the time you have to leave. So kids that don't start until the coming school, around 8:15, if they're picked up at 7:30 in the morning, that's a long time. So then we're going to have to establish some oversight of students. We have to go that route if we're dropping students off earlier than need be to make sure that there's supervision. So more to come on that. Hopefully by the end of the week, we should have a pretty good idea of what direction we are going to go. And that, for now, is it, because my head is so full from today, that I believe that's it.
All right, very good. Do we have homeschool applications?
Yes, there's a copy here for each of you. I have 7 for you for approval tonight. One 5th grader, one 6th grader, 2 7th graders, one 9th grader, one 11th grader, and one 2nd grader, all of which have submitted their plans that I have gone through and made sure meet our standard and requirements. So I recommend the approval of those 7. I list and show you there were 5 that I'm still waiting to hear back from students who were homeschooled last year who have not responded as of yet. And I wrote in at the end, I have 2 that are pending enrollment because it's not the first time I've had this happen. There's a little bit of pushback saying that homeschool students do not have to enroll. However, in order for a homeschool plan to be accepted, it must be accepted by the school committee, and the school committee is not going to look at someone's plan who isn't a resident of Winthrop. So we have to at least establish residency. They don't have to give us health records and that kind of documentation, but they do have to establish residency. So we're doing a little bit of the back and forth with families, but I think you can make it easy enough that it'll come along. So right now, potentially, we'd have 12 if these other, I assume these other 5 are returning to homeschool that are pending, and then possibly the 2 more, so possibly up to 14,
Okay.
which
May-
is down from the last couple of years.
May I have a motion to approve the 7 homeschool plans that have been accepted?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Is this number higher than you usually see?
No.
No, it's actually lower. Since COVID, we've had anywhere from 28 students. Last year, we finished with about 20.
Okay.
But we've had some that have gone to high school, some have gone to the Woke, some have gone back to school, back to the public schools. And others I haven't heard from yet.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. And that brings us to personnel.
Yes. So for new hires, you have in your packet an attached list that has 35 new hires. Those are 35 new people coming into the district who have joined us since last year. And you can see through the list, the combination of teachers, some ABA tutors, ESPs, your PPS director, custodians, world language teacher, and the like. That's a lot of new onboarding of people and getting to know people, but we're excited for the backgrounds of these folks that are coming to join us. And so that new hire list is what you have. Resignations, so we have a couple of resignations. Audra Turner, who's an elementary school teacher. Audra was on leave last year, and she has decided to not continue teaching, so I spent some time with her, and she has decided not to return to her position, so that is posted. Stephen Bigley was a custodian at the middle school and high school. He is leaving us for, I believe, the MWRA. Jody Harris, a cafeteria worker, a similar situation, was out for a period of time and has decided not to return. And then we have Heather Boudreau, who's an elementary teacher, Sarah O'Brien, who is, Heather Boudreau is at the ATC, Sarah O'Brien is an ELL teacher at the GFB. Gianna Balian resigned from her ESP position, but she didn't leave us because she is becoming a teacher. She is a certified teacher, and she's picking up a new position. So although that's a resignation, she's double dipped, and she resigned and was rehired. Emily Sawyer Harris was an occupational therapist who resigned in August. Rebecca Coots was an ABA tutor for us. She's similar to Gianna. She is leaving her ABA tutor role and becoming a special education teacher. Danielle Navarro, very similar, leaving her position as an ESP and is taking on a classroom as a certified teacher. And Whitney DeSantis was a second grade teacher by June, an EL teacher in July, and a resigned teacher in August. So those positions have been posted. We have no retirements. I don't think there's anyone left to retire after last year. And so the postings below are for the K-2 reading specialist, Gorman Fort Banks ESP, Gorman Fort Banks elementary school teacher, which is the the EL position, I believe. And an EL teacher, both at the Gorman Fort Banks and the ATC. And then one more ESP at the ATC because somebody's taking over for a teaching position. So lots of moving and grooving. But we're close to being fully staffed. Like I said, it's, those areas of special education that are becoming a little difficult. We do have a physical therapist now to join Barbara Mancini and help support those students. But the occupational therapy position, I believe we have 2 or 3 still open. 2. 3, like I said, 3. Unfortunately, we may have to go to an agency if we can't find somebody, because the impact of the cost of compensatory services grows every day. You're not providing the service. When I did a deep dive in the cost of an agency, because I was a little taken back, I guess I've been out of special ed for a tiny bit of time, a little taken back by the fees they charge. But then when I cross-referenced that with the salary we would provide, and in addition added the benefits that we now pay, it sort of washes, but it looks like a much bigger number. So when you pay an agency, you do a contract with that agency, so at some point you'll see the salary. If we can't fill the position within the district, you'll see that salary be asked to be moved out of the teacher's salary line over to the expense line, and there'll be a purchase order to pay a company like Sunbelt or Soliant or one of the agencies that subcontract those folks on. The difference between an agency and us is the person comes here and we give them a salary and they don't need benefits, we're winning. And when you go to an agency, you can't ask if they're actually paying that person's benefit. They can hire that person, still charge us, the equivalent cost, but they may not be providing, having to provide that person, so. And I was told I can't ask those questions, although I ask anyway. And that is all I have.
Very good, thank you. And we have, under unfinished business, can I have a motion to approve the school improvement plans that were?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Again, the principals are willing to come out. I told them I'd have that discussion with you as we open up the school year, if there becomes any additional questions on school improvement plans that were developed with the site.
I appreciate all their work that went into them. Site councils, school leaders, all that.
Well, they're well organized.
You know, and now they look consistent, so it's
Yeah.
a consistent format, which makes it easy for people to read and understand, and it also guides the work that they're doing.
I would like to schedule the principals to come in to give us an update on their buildings. So
Absolutely.
through the fall, if we could do that, that'd be
Yep.
great. May I have a roll call for this, please?
Yes, Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. Public relations.
I just have one quick one. The Arthur T. Cummings School is looking pretty snappy right now. So we've done some painting. Part of, I believe some of that, the cost of that painting came out of capital improvement money, and a little bit out of a, I'm gonna lose the title of the outside account, but I believe it's not a project account, property, like a destruction of property fees that have come in. We're trying to clean up some of those lines, yeah. So we've had somebody here, they did the third floor first. We were going to have the Suffolk County House of Correction was gonna work with us, and during the summer when kids weren't in school at night, they were gonna have people come out, and they had a supervisor to do that. That was our deal right up until the last second, and then something changed at the Suffolk County House of Correction, another thing that I don't ask questions about. So we've had one actual human doing it, but he's been here and he's done a great job. He's apparently, people who know painting, says he cuts things well, cuts corners. whatever he's
That is
cutting.
really nice.
Another thing that's outside my limit. So
Oh,
he's
nice.
done a
Not,
really
not
nice job.
cutting corners, just cutting
Yeah,
in.
cutting corners, whatever. But it's brightening up that school. That school has not been updated because it's always fallen to the bottom of the barrel in terms of funding and access. So we looked at some outside accounts to see what we could do to take some balances out of places that were never gonna be used because it was a small amount of money, close up some of those lines, clean up the town's accounts. And he's done the third floor. He skipped the middle floor. I forget why.
He did the third and second, and now he's finishing.
Okay, and now he's finishing the first, so clearly I have my hand right on the pulse of what's going on over
There.
there. I can tell you when you walk in,
You've seen that van out there.
that van's out there all the
Long, long
time.
days.
And he's, and it looks a little bit brighter. So kind of pumped about that, and I think the teachers will be happy too. So it's mainly the hallways and common spaces that we were working on. Classrooms will be another thing. That was all I had.
Very good. You had another?
Yeah, I had a couple, I just want to thank Steve Keller, the DPW, getting all the crosswalks painted before school started, so that's an awesome thing he does every year. And also, I don't think we'll be meeting before September 5th, which is the opening night of the football season, but it's also at 4:30, they'll be having a dedication, where they'll be adding Coach DeFelice's name to the field. So I encourage people to come down, that's 4:30, September 5th, right before opening night of the football team.
And we only have, I think, 4 home games this year.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Very good.
Because of the schedule.
Other public relations.
Class of 2026 is having a car wash on August 30th. I think it's 10 to 1.
Where is it, Jane?
ATC.
Anybody else? Then I would like a motion to adjourn to executive session with the anticipation of adjourning the meeting immediately after. This is to discuss the collective bargaining agreement.
Motion.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. I don't know if I'm being, with that, we are in executive session.